Hey guys, Milan here from Break Into Tech. I run a company called Break Into Tech, and we help people mainly career transitions, people who are transitioning out of a career, as well as recent graduates looking to break into the tech industry. We specialize in helping people break into tech sales roles where they can make anywhere between 55 to 75,000 pounds in their first year without any prior experience. And today I'm interviewing Nasreen, who's a recent graduate from Singapore. Is that right?
hmm
Perfect. Who joined our program about 3 to 4 months ago, and she recently landed a tech sales job at a very well-known fintech company. So today, I wanted to interview her, ask her about her experience of joining the program and actually breaking into tech sales. So with that said, Nasreen, do you want to give us a little bit of a background about yourself, like maybe a little bit about what you studied at university, what you're doing today, where you're from, that kind of stuff?
Yep, sure. Thank you, Bilal. So I graduated from law school just a few months ago in July,
Mm,
but I in Singapore, but I decided pretty early on that I didn't want to be a lawyer and I wanted to be in a more customer facing role that I could use my speaking skills and my people skills in. So I wanted to be in sales, and tech sales was, you hear that it's where you can make a lot of money and, really jumpstart your career. So
mm.
that's where I wanted to go. And yeah, when I found this program, it helped me break into tech.
I love that. I love that. Obviously, you probably know my wife, Laura, right? She actually trained and became a qualified solicitor in the UK, and then she realized that it wasn't really for her. I think it's still a bit shocking though to make a huge leap from law, which is a highly professional job where you can make a lot of money, very professional, suit and tie, the whole thing, into a more of a casual role where you're selling software or working in the tech industry. Tell us a little bit about your mindset when you were making that decision to break into tech.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to be in law anyway. The fact that everything was so prim and proper and, it had to be a certain way. And I
Mm,
felt that those things are a bit arbitrary. Like you don't really need to look that way. You don't really need to do all those things to do the kind of work that you're doing.
mhm.
And it was a culture that was very rigid, very maybe a bit toxic.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that I joined Break into Tech is because I saw Laura's post, and I really related to that about why she didn't like the legal industry, and she felt and knew that she could do more,
Mm,
right? Because your career projection is very dependent on what your superiors think of you. That's all. And as a woman just starting out, it's very difficult to climb the ranks. There's a lot of the culture. It's hierarchical. It's prejudiced. But in sales, right, it's based on metrics. It's based on numbers. It's purely based on your performance, and that's something that was a big draw to me.
yeah. I couldn't agree more, right? I couldn't agree more. Like, I've always lived in the UK, in London. And whenever you see these high powered jobs, whether it's investment banking at JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, commercial law firms, it's always the typical type of person that thrives in those environments. Generally speaking, it's young men who are in their like 20s or 30s from a very privileged background, white, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's the typical type of persona that absolutely thrives in those types of highly professional, highly pressurized environments where you have is kill or be killed, right? And then you have more colored people and women who can still do it, but they have huge disadvantages against them, right? Is that what you mean? Is that why you wanted to not go into law?
I mean, I think in Singapore, the difference is not that stark. Like,
Okay.
it is
Okay.
quite equal. It's more about the culture and what I felt were my strengths. Like, I don't think that being a lawyer would leverage on my strengths. Like, I
Hmm.
think I have very good communication skills, persuasion skills. And what lawyers mostly do is research.
Mm-hmm.
So, sit in front of a computer and compare documents, which
Hmm.
I didn't want to do.
Hmm. Got it. You like the aspect of tech sales where you're basically on the phone over Zoom, meeting people, businesses,
Yes.
selling and pitching and stuff like that.
Like the idea that my whole job could be talking to people and corresponding, to me that sounds so fun, and that doesn't
Hmm.
sound like a
Hmm.
job. Like I
Hmm.
love to be on the phone.
Hmm. No, I totally get it. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to transition out of. So my original job out of university was in a marketing company, very small marketing agency. I was doing digital marketing, growth marketing. I was doing a little bit of sales, but it wasn't full on sales. So I was like, actually, if I get into tech sales, my entire job is what I love doing, which is talking to people, motivating them to do something, public speaking and stuff like that. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Before we dive into some more questions, tell us a little bit about the tech sales job offer you landed. So I know that you landed a sales development representative job at a fintech. I think the OTE is on target earnings is about £57,000 in the UK. But tell us a little bit more about the opportunity, how long it took you to land a job, a little bit more about the industry that you're going into.
Yep. So I got the job not by applying, but because a recruiter slid into my DMs because I was very active on LinkedIn, posting a lot of things about sales and trying to break into the tech sales industry. Slid into my LinkedIn DMs and asked me if I wanted to apply and if it was because I seemed like a good fit. So I did, and then we had the screening call, and then I think 2 more interviews after that, and then I landed the role. So there wasn't any test or role play, even though I thought there would be, but there wasn't. And the industry, it's fintech, B2B fintech. So it's selling kind of a financial platform or solution for companies to manage companies' finances. And I have no experience in fintech or in finance at all,
or in
other
sales,
than like one.
right? You don't have any experience in sales either?
Yeah, no. Yeah, or in sales.
That's awesome.
But I mean, other than like one finance mod I took in law school, but they'll provide the training. There's 1 month of training and onboarding. Yeah.
Okay. And then what does progression look like in your role? So one of the big reasons that people join Break into Tech or get into tech in general is because of the really quick progression that they get into higher paying roles and more senior roles. What does the progression look like for you once you start your sales development role? What happens after that? 6 months down the line, a year down the line? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I'm told that you can get to an AE position in as little as a year, maybe 11 months to a year. And after that, I know AEs go into sales leads or sales manager positions. And I think after that, maybe head of sales globally. But the company is really big, so it could go, regional head of sales, APAC, global.
Got it. Okay. Maybe tell people a little bit more about what that actually means. So once you get to an account executive role, give people a sense of how much like you can make as a salary, what commissions look like, the other benefits of getting promoted quicker.
Yeah. In this company, I'm not too sure. I didn't ask them.
What about
I know
in general?
In general, what an AE could make, I think their
In
OTE
fintech.
their OTE is easily more than 100K pound. Yeah.
But from
I'm not sure about that.
But from your understanding at this company, you're not sure how much you could make once you progress. But it would definitely be in the range of like 100K plus, because that's the average junior AE anyway, especially in fintech, especially if it's a fast growing startup. Let's maybe dive a little bit deeper into how did you even hear about tech sales, and did you even ever imagine yourself working in a tech company?
Yeah, so no, I never imagined. I didn't think that it was for me because I cannot do software and things like that. And I always thought I would be in a law firm. But I heard about it actually just from social media. Like even other than Lara's TikToks, I was also seeing a lot of other TikToks talking about, how if you are that kind of person who's confident and good at speaking and, you enjoy something like this, it's something you should consider because you can get compensated pretty well. So, read about it, saw Lara's TikTok especially, that resonated with me for being a law student who did not want to be a lawyer. And then I did some research about it, and then I looked at the Break into Tech website, and it was very, it seemed very comprehensive, and I liked the fact that it's the kind of, they guarantee you a job. Like if you don't get a job, they will keep helping you and keep helping you.
Got it. And what was like, I guess, the primary reason that you wanted to work in tech sales specifically? Why not other jobs in tech?
Because other jobs in tech, I don't have the skills for. I can't code. I could go and learn the code. I could. And I'm very sure I could pick it up. But the thing is, that's not my strength. I know that my strength is talking, building relationships, using my people skills, my persuasion skills. So if I already have that skill set, why not leverage on that? And if you're good at what you do, it becomes less like a job.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. And then when you, like, before you joined Break into Tech, were you trying to get into tech sales by yourself?
So I had this kind of little plan in the back of my head, but I didn't know at all how to go about it. I didn't know at all how to say on my CV that I wanted to, because, all my background is just legal internship. Why would a company want to hire me as an SDR when they could get someone from business school who has done an internship in sales? So I was really struggling with that, and I didn't really try to do it by myself because I knew if I had, I didn't think I would really get anywhere.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. So the moment that you researched tech sales, you saw break into tech, and then from there, you just made the decision to basically join the program and learn how to do it. I guess.
Yeah, because that was the time I was graduating anyway. So I needed to do something. It's either I do something or I do nothing.
Because you only graduated a couple of months ago from your undergrad degree. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Were you skeptical at first? Because obviously on our website, we say you can make 55 to 75K a year. You've got 20-year-olds making 40K, 50K, which is obviously a lot of money for someone so young. Were you skeptical at first when you saw this?
Yeah, I was very skeptical because I was thinking, they say all that, but is that really true? And if it was so, I guess, easy, why isn't everybody doing it? Why hasn't everybody broken in to tech sales?
And when you joined the program, right? Like when you first joined Break Into Tech a couple of months ago, 3 to 4 months ago, what was your experience like inside the program? Tell us a little bit more about the coaching that you got. What was the most useful part? What you learned that you didn't know about before? Just tell us a little bit about your experience.
Yeah. So the moment you join, you get added into this big WhatsApp group when everyone is inside, and it's like a little community. So people share about their problems, whatever interviews they've got, their wins and their challenges. So you share your LinkedIn, and then everybody follows you, and you have like this whole community. And then you also have a little bit of a one-to-one check-in with your customer success manager, who will check up with you every week on how it's been going, what you've done, what your next step should be, and kind of sets the goal for every week what you should be doing. And then you also get access to this file with all the content. It has very clear steps on step 1, how to, the foundations and what your expectations should be, and how the mindset, I guess, you should have going into this journey. And then we have how to optimize your CV, which is like the most important part, how to phrase your CV, what things you need to be aware of, what things you need to say, which for me was very useful because I don't know. I'm not in this industry. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know what I need. I don't know what I need to stand out. And then after that, you also have like interview skills, the things you should say, sample answers, and also just kind of questions that interviewers would normally ask. And that was also very useful because some of the answers that I didn't think I should say are the right answers. And when I said them in my interviewers are shocked, and they're like, "Oh, okay, that's great." Like they're really impressed by what I've said. Yeah, and then the rest are also, there's tips for all this. Of course, all these sales skills, right? The foundations of how to use all these sales software, how to do the cold calling, cold emailing. And you practice all these skills as well when you reach out to hiring managers. Like you're literally selling yourself. So you have to cold call them, you have to cold email them.
Got it. No, that was a really good answer. Thank you. How long did it take you to land your tech sales job? Like how many months did it take you to land your offer?
So I joined the program in very late July, I would say early August. So August, September, October, maybe 3 months, 3 months and 1 and 2 weeks.
Okay. 3.5 weeks, 3.5 months, basically.
Yeah.
Maybe two final questions on my part. Why do you think everyone watching today should consider a career in tech sales, especially girls, young females that are studying law, finance, whatever? Why do you think because that's your background, why do you feel like those individuals should consider a career in tech sales?
I think because if you went into those fields because you wanted to hone your communication skills and because you are good at talking to people, which is why I went into law, because I thought that's what being a lawyer is about, then I think you can consider being in tech sales because that's what it does. And you still need to be somebody who is very analytical, somebody who is good at research. And those are skills that we have, right, in these other professional degrees. But if you want a job that I guess is more fulfilling and leverages on your strengths, but still allows you to be pretty well compensated, I think that this is a career to consider.
From a lot of conversations that I have on TikTok and with people in general, one of the things that I hear is that a lot of these more of a traditional career paths, they are, a lot of them anyway, especially the junior roles, obviously not the senior roles, they're in danger of getting, I guess, in a way, in some shape or form, kind of replaced by AI. Do you feel like working in tech sales or working for an AI company or a fintech company, do you feel like this industry is a little bit safer to work in if you want a more longevity in your career compared to other traditional jobs because of AI?
That's an interesting question. So philosophical. I think that this AI replacing people, yes, it is a concern, but at the same time, and I made a post about this on LinkedIn, but at the same time, the one thing that AI will not replace is that human component, right? So if you look at being a lawyer, if you look at being an accountant, all these really administrative tasks or more, I guess, manual
Work,
tasks can be easily replaced, but that human element can't. So even as a lawyer, you have to sell your service to the client, you have to speak to the client. I don't think that's going to be replaced. The same thing with sales, right? Whatever, your CRM, your sequences, that can be automated, but speaking to people, getting them to trust you and your service and your solution, that will not be replaced. So, there's that pros and cons, but you also have to think about, in these more traditional careers, who are the ones who are making the human connections, who are talking to the clients? It's never the junior people.
That's true. That's a great answer. Final question. Why do you think everyone watching today, if they want to join Break into Tech, they actually should, even if they're a little bit skeptical? How would you advise them to make a decision about joining Break into Tech? What would you tell them? What would be your words of wisdom with regards to investing in themselves and joining this community?
I would tell them that the community really helps you. Like, if you don't know what to do, because, right, there could be a million people who want to break into tech sales, and I think there are, and they think that they can do it themselves, they know what to do. But the thing is, when you go in these interviews, when you do all these things, right, these people talk to so many people a day. How do you make yourself stand out? You don't know. You don't know because you don't know what everybody else is doing. You have no basis of comparison. You have no community. You're just one person here by yourself, right? But see, for example, me, because I'm in the program, I know because the coaches tell me, because they've been in tech sales for years. They know what people say, they know what people want to hear, right? And I'm not saying that you cannot land a tech sales job by yourself. I'm sure that you can, right? Very capable, smart. It's just, it might take you a year, it might take you 2 years, because you're going to gain that experience by yourself versus hearing it from somebody who already has that and knows what to say. And I'll be so honest, like, I know that I'm a very smart and capable person too. Like, I graduated from law school, but if I didn't have the knowledge on this industry and the coaching and whatever, I don't think I would have been able to. And another aspect is also that kind of peace of mind and the having like a group behind you that's supporting you and giving you motivation to do all the 50 job applications per day every week, because it's tiring, right? And I feel like I'm getting nowhere. I don't know if I'm making really any progress at all. But I have my coach telling me, no, that's great that you did that, and saying, no, it's great, even though they rejected you, this is what you can learn, this is what you should do next. But if you're by yourself on this job search journey, it's really tiring and isolating and demotivating.
Totally agree. Thank you so much for that. And look, those were all of my questions. I wish you all of the best of luck moving forward in your career. I hope you crush your quota. Actually, maybe a last question. Is your role fully remote, or do you have to go into an office? How does that look like?
It's a hybrid role with 3 days work from home.
Okay, 3 days. Okay, hybrid makes sense. Awesome. Well, look, best of luck with your career. I would love to stay in touch. If I can help with anything else moving forward, please obviously feel free to reach out. You have lifetime access to everything in the community. And yeah, thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Bilal.
Awesome. Have a good one.